Hi everybody, Austin here. I'm going to show you our in-ear monitoring rig that we travel with. We're going to take it to PostFest this weekend. I'll start first with the rack and then we'll talk about the computer. So in the rack, we have the brains of the operation, the Behringer X32. It controls all of our ins and outs. Basically, it's the thing that glues everything together. It's an interface. It records our shows for us and it sends all the outputs to front of house. Second thing is we have our splitters. These are Behringer MS8000s. We have 16 channels that we can plug into. This first row is all drum channels, kick, snare, 3 toms, a hi-hat, and 2 overheads. And then below it, we have guitars and keyboards. So we have 2 left and right guitars. They're in stereo. So this is a guitar. This is a guitar. These 2 are synths. This is a bass. And then this is our talkback, what I use to talk to the audience with and get sort of an overall sense of the space. We have a Sennheiser wireless unit that I and Phil use, but for these shows, we typically go wired actually. So we made these braided cables that consist of a Behringer PM1, which is just a little headphone amp, and then the guitar connector that plugs into our pedal boards. And this is braided so that it hangs off the back of you so you can have a wired connection to the IEM and not have to run a wireless unit, which is really complicated when you go to places like Europe and the UK. We have X32 Edit. It's all the same lines that I just talked to you about. Everybody's got their name here, individual mixes, and then we send a special mix to front of house that is just our tracks. Austin and Ken should not be in this. I don't know why they are. This is our session for the show. We have groups in here for us to record, to play along to practice along to, and to do MIDI patch changes. So I'll start with the auxiliary track. This is what we send to front of house. It's made up of backing synths, impacts like 808s and percussion and things like that. And then we have transitions, which are moments between songs. By the way, this is a MacBook with an M1 in it, and I have a lot of people telling me that it's crazy that I can record the show and also do playback with it, but knock on wood, this thing has yet to fail. The next track in our next group is our click and our cues. So we have click tracks for all of our ears. And then we have cues, which are voice commands that let us know like what's happening next in the song. It does count offs. Next we have, this is a muted, actually we don't even use this because it just says muted, but it was things that if Kyle wasn't playing a show with us, we would just unmute that and then you'd be able to hear Kyle's parts. But since he's playing the show with us, we're obviously keeping that muted. Same thing with this. This is all of the jam stems from our records so that if I'm me, I would just mute myself and then play along to the drums, bass, and the other guitar player. So it helps when we're trying to remember parts, but we don't actually use any of this stuff for the live session. It gets muted. Then we have our MIDI patch changes, which we only have 2 of these right now. These green things and these purple things are all the times that our pedal boards change a different sound, a different pedal, a different bank. I have significantly more than Ken does, which has really made my life a lot easier. The reason that works is we have a Mio iConnect. It basically just works like an interface alongside the X32, except it only transfers MIDI. And it's really useful. Things like $40 and it like saved my life. Last channel is our record channel. If I were to arm all this stuff, it arms all of the inputs down here. All 16 channels get armed. And then when we play the show, I hit the record button and simultaneously the backing tracks will play and it will record all 16 of the inputs for us to mix later. So we can like hear the game tape and hear how well or how not well we did. That's our rig, and it all fits in this wonderful fly case over there, which is amazing. Last thing I'll mention, these come out the back. These are all the tails. All 16 channels in the front are represented by a different patch here that are numbered, and this is what goes to front of house so that the audience can hear and get a better mix for themselves. So I forgot to mention the power's on the back, but I'm not gonna show that to you, but we did put the power on the back of this thing, okay? So don't think it's just coming from the sky. All right. See you later.